You gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
So let's come to a comfortable seat. I'm sitting on my little zafu, so I'm just lifted up a little bit. It tends to alleviate the tightness into the hips if you sit on a block or a bolster or a cushion. Let's take the left hand up onto the heart space and the right hand down onto the belly. So really kind of feel both areas where we are connected to. And maybe you choose to take a soft gaze, or you can gently close the eyes. Take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Sigh out your day. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then just breathing in through the nose, in and out. And become settled where you are. Whatever has taken place just before we started practice, let those thoughts go. Be completely present with yourself, with your breath, with your focus. And particularly in January, as we're working on Janatomy, with your body, inside and out. Really connect to everything about you and your body. And for the last couple of weeks, we've been working up the body. So the first week of January was feet and legs. Second week of January is pelvis, hips. Third week is moving into the lower, the middle back, the core and the sides of the body. So that's the area we're going to be focusing on and working with today. The trunk, the thorax, the thoracic, the center. So now take your focus down to your lower hand, down deeper into the belly, and breathe and fill your palm. As you breathe in, feel the belly pressing against the palm. And as you breathe out, you feel the belly start to deflate. And let's start to introduce that Ujjayi breath. Slight restriction at the back of the throat and an audible sound. Creating a little bit of warmth through the throat, through the nostrils. And imagine that warmth firing up deep, deep inside the hara, the dantian, or the core. Feel warm. We're going to be stoking our inner fire and our inner strength in practice today. Continuing with Ujjayi. And returning to Ujjayi at any point through the practice. We're also going to be working with our vagus nerve. Our vagus nerve is the cranial sacral nerve that stems all the way from the base of the brain right down through the face, the throat, the thorax, into the digestive organs. So a number of twists to stimulate the belly and the sides of the body. Also some work into the throat and the voice. And the vagus nerve is our superhighway nerve system. Really responsible for that rest, repair, and digest. Nice and slowly release the hands to the knees. Keep the palms face up and feel that warmth still in the palms of your hands from your body. The body warmth emanating into the fingers, into the palms. And maybe invite an intention for practice. Finding inner strength, finding confidence, self-esteem, and courage. Wiggling the fingers, circling the wrists, circling the shoulders. Get some movement back into the body. And let's take a nice gentle twist here. So bringing the soles of the feet together. Let's make this nice and symmetrical. So sweeping the left arm up, take hold of the right knee and just open the chest nice and gently to the side, lift through the spine again. Really think of that vagus nerve coming down through the brain, the face, the throat, down through the heart, into the organs. Imagine that vagus nerve. Sweep up and over, create a big arc and take it to the other side. Gently open up as you breathe in. Breathe out, maybe deepening the rotation, not forcing. We're only just warming up. Sweep up and over. Let's take it once more. Maybe you wrap the hand this time and you can then take hold of the opposite thigh. And that's a little bit of leverage, but try not to lift the knee. So try to keep that knee out. Keep the pelvis nice and stable. Sweep up and over as you breathe in. And then maybe taking hold of that back thigh in a bind. Good, opening the chest. This time we sweep up and over and we fold towards the right knee. So draw the belly, the thigh down, let the head relax down to the knee and really pull the opposite hip down towards the mat. Let the head release, soften through the neck. And then from here, lengthen the spine. So lift the chest, lift the head, lift the gaze, and sweep the arms up and over to the other side. Again, just rest the belly, the chest down, let the head relax, let the neck soften. Draw the belly back towards the lower spine and keep grounding through that opposite hip. Lengthen the spine, lift the chest, lift the gaze, and then lift the arms up to the sky. Bring the palms together. Reach up, lift through the heart here. So imagine someone's got a string and just pulling you from the sternum. Reach, reach, reach with the hands, and you're going to stretch the sides of your body here, and then gently drop the hand over and stretch to the side. Roll the rib cage, open to the sky, and then bring yourself center and breathe out. Take it to the other side. Roll the rib cage up, maybe change the gaze. Let's bring up once more and over. Roll the rib cage open. And sweep up as you breathe in and sweep over as you breathe out. Breathe in. And this time we sweep the arms all the way around and see if you can take hold of your shoulder blades and give yourself a big hug and start to draw the elbows in towards the dantian, down towards the mat, and start folding forwards. Draw the head towards the feet. Maybe you're still on a block here or you're seated on the mat. That's okay. It doesn't matter. Just feel the spine starting to release and give yourself that hug. Breathe out, let go a little bit more, and then lengthen the spine once more. So lengthen from the lower back, middle back, upper back, chest starts to open. Reach the arms up and do that the opposite side. So opposite hand comes on top. Really try to get the elbows connected. Lift up and start to fold. Release. Breathe out. Notice if that's any tighter or more easier with one arm on top. Let the head and neck relax. Soften deeper into the fold as you breathe out. And then again, lengthen the spine. Lift the chest. Lift the elbows. Lift the gaze. Reach the arms up and open and let the arms float down to the side. Lift the knees up and then give yourself that big hug. So belly, chest, over thighs, and then hug the knees in tight. Breathe out. Feel the belly really connecting to the thighs here. Let the head drop to the knees. And then start to roll up through the spine, and let's come to tabletop position. So bringing yourself onto your mat. Just sway the hips a little bit from side to side to release from your seat. Making sure that the wrists are nicely stacked underneath the shoulders, knees are nicely stacked underneath the hips, and then start to introduce a little circle here. So it doesn't matter which way you go, but just circle one way 3 or 4 times. Coming forward over the wrists as you breathe in and reaching the hips back towards the heels as you breathe out. Doesn't matter if they're soft or deep, and then circle the other way. Keep pressing away from the mat through the palms. And always through this entire practice, we're being aware of our whole core, our whole center, the sides of the body, the lower and the middle back. And this time we bring the knees wide, toes touch. Reach the fingertips forward, up onto the tips of the fingers, and then stretch back into a wide leg child's pose. Maybe the head comes to a block or to the mat. Relax the ears between the biceps, lengthen the spine, and again, just dropping the belly between the thighs. Lifting up to tabletop, bringing the knees together. And then cat and cow, again, bearing in mind this whole dantian area, really focusing on that in your neutral posture, dropping the belly, lifting sit bones, looking forward through the chest. Exhale, push away into cat. So let's take 8 of these, really feeling that tilt of the pelvis, reminding ourselves of practice from last week. So the anterior, the posterior tilts. Finding movement through the entire spine. Again, finding that breath. Now, last time, lifting up into cat. Breathing out to neutral, lift the left arm up towards the sky. We're going to thread the needle through and reach the palm underneath us. That right arm can stay by the ear, or you can reach it forward. Keeping the hips nice and lifted, just open up through the side body here. Make sure that you relax into the head and the neck here. We don't want any tightness and tension going on there. Lift the abdomen. Breathe deep into the belly. Ujjayi breath if you wish. Open a little more to the side. And then bring the right arm back if it was extended. And bring yourself back to neutral. Lifting right arm up as you breathe in. And exhale through and under. Reach those fingers away and choose the option of the hand by the ear or stretching it forward. Lifting sit bones to sky, rolling rib cage open to the sky. Bringing the hand back if you chose to extend it, and bring yourself back into tabletop. This time, bring the knees together, toes together. Exhale, active child's pose. So really lift the belly up and over the thighs and bring the fingertips forward. Stretch, stretch, stretch. It may come to a block or to the mat. And this time, walk the fingers to the right side of your mat. Lift up as you breathe in. Breathe out. See if you get more depth into that twisted child's pose, drawing the left hip back towards the left heel. And be soft here. You know, we're not trying to, overexert ourselves. Just want to start to find these twists in the body. Walk the hands back through center and then over to the left. Breathe in, lift up, get the belly free from the thigh. Exhale, release. Ujjayi breath as you wish. And then walk the hands back into center and lift up back into tabletop. Sway the hips, maybe a few rounds of cat and cow here again. Bring your blocks if you have them handy. If you don't have blocks, that's okay. You can bring the right foot forward to meet the right block and just start to drop into the hips here and just find a little bit of movement swaying from side to side. So we're going to take the block over to the other side of our leg. And we're going to drop the hips and start to lift the belly up and over. And maybe we hold the block by the side. So we're keeping the chest nice and lifted. And the gaze is straight forward, either over the foot or to the side of the mat. Try not to turn the head at this point because we're just starting to twist through the torso in a lunge. It's going to get a little bit deeper through practice. So looking either forwards to the front of your mat or to the side. Maybe one hand comes down, maybe both. It's okay. So you're lifting up the belly, dropping hips forward. Good. Start to bring yourself back into center. Bring the block back and take that leg back. Change sides. Left foot forward, drop the hips. Find a nice little dragon lunge there. Then lift up the block if you've got one handy on any of those levels. Lift the belly, twist and turn, bend the front knee. Oh, this is a little bit more flexible on this side. Both hands might come down. Looking forward over the front shoulder or to the side. Try to keep the shoulders nice and level. Few breaths. Draw the belly back towards the lower back here, and then start to bring yourself back. And you can take the blocks away for the moment. Sweep that leg back and sway out. Tucking the toes. Going to come up to a downward facing dog. So keeping the chest and the belly all the way back to the thighs. So pull the belly back, lift the knees away from the mat, stretch, stretch. stretch, and then start to lift the hips. Try to connect the belly to the thighs as much as you can. Knees are deeply bent, and you're pulling the heels downwards. Relax the head and the neck, yes and no, and then start to pedal out. So keeping the belly where it is. Really pressing belly, chest back to thighs, lengthening left and right. Legs out. Now make your little dog more accessible, giving yourself space from the belly, releasing both heels at the same time. And here the gaze can be to the toes, could be to the knees, or for more challenge, it looks up towards the dantian. Lift the sit bones, draw the belly in. Ujjayi breath. Bring your right hand into the center of your mat. Left hand can either come to the thigh, the calf, or it might take the ankle. Look underneath the right armpit. Be careful not to overextend the right elbow here. So find strength into that shoulder, looking underneath the armpit if it's comfortable, or down towards the feet. Twisted downward facing dog. Bring yourself back. Left hand goes into the center. Right hand goes to the thigh, the calf, or the heel or ankle, looking up underneath the left. Again, be strong through that palm, wrist, elbow, shoulder of the left arm. Keep the downward dog position if you can, releasing those heels down. And then bring yourself back into center. We're going to come off the wrists, release the knees down, and pull yourself back through child's pose and roll up to kneeling. Bring the hands to the knees. Just feel the response through the wrists there. I hope we're starting to get a little bit warm. So lifting up to a high kneel and maybe bringing a block either side of you. If you've got one block, that's okay. You can switch the sides. We're going to take a twisted camel here. So the block can be on any level, depending on how high you need it, by that back ankle of your right side. Hand can face forward, sideways. We're going to push the hips forward, lift the arm, and the gaze can either stay forward up to the hand or down towards the block. Lift the spine away, push the pelvis forward. Good, nice. Reach back if you're able. Good, lovely, lovely, lovely. Breathe, smile. And then bring yourself back into center and switching to the other side. So again, finding the level of the block that you need. Lift up out of the lower back. No compression here. Reaching back with those fingertips. And then either gaze goes to the front, looking forward, up to the hand, or down at the block. Slowly bring yourself back to center. This time we're going to bring the right leg forward. Blocks can be by the side of you. So right leg forward, we're going to kickstand the back knee. If you're on a hard surface, I'd probably pad out that back knee with a blanket, or you can double roll the mat. So when I say kickstand, you can either tuck the toes and the knee is like about a 45-degree thing, or you can keep the foot down. So we're going to start to come into some warriors and some reverse warriors here. So bending the front knee forward, dropping hips, really drawing in through the pelvic floor. Abdomen is nice and flat, hips are facing the side. Lift up, and maybe the hand, again, blocks are handy. You can always tuck the block, or you might meet the calf. Drop the hips forward. This is your reverse warrior. We're stretching through the side body. Different when we're kneeling, huh? Nice deep exhale as you sink a little bit further. And then bring yourself back up into warrior. And that hand comes down onto the mat. Or again, using block, side angle pose. So lifting that top arm up to the sky, or maybe over. So biceptic. Roll the rib cage open. And that arm can be used as leverage so that that knee doesn't rock inwards. So you've got your elbow next to your front knee, reaching up, 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 up. Roll, roll, roll. Good. Bring yourself back into center. And change sides through downward facing dog. So bring the legs back, tuck the toes, draw the belly, the chest back towards the thighs. Once more, knees are lifted away from the mat. Lift the hips, release the heels as you breathe out. And slow, deep breaths. So let's come to the other side. So left leg forward. Again, and just kickstand that back leg, whether it's on the tops of the feet or you're tucking. And then find your warrior two, sinking the hips, raising up the arms. Good. Come into the reverse warrior. So lifting up the top arm, softening the hips forward. Good. Hand might be on your block or your calf, maybe the thigh. Look towards the hand if it feels comfortable, or down at the mat. And then come into that side angle pose. So again, hand comes down to the mat or onto a block. Your elbow is next to your front knee, lifting up the arm. And then make sure that you're not twisting too much forward. And you can open up into that extended side angle if you're not in a loft space. Good. And then gently bring yourself back. Move the blocks. Return the feet. Once more, that crouched downward facing dog. So press back, lift the knees, draw the belly, the chest to the thighs. Then lift the hips and release the heels. Ujjayi breath for 3. 2. And 1. Looking forward and bringing the right foot between the hands. Come into a nice low lunge here. Dropping the hips forward, raising the arms up towards the sky, and really feeling the length through the belly, so we're not dropping and arching too much into the lower back. We're drawing the belly back towards the spine, protecting the lower back. Hands come into the heart. Press the palms together. Elbows are nice and wide. Shoulders are relaxed. We're going to lift the belly up and over. Take the left hand down to the right knee, left elbow to the right knee. Come into that twisted lunge. Drop the hips forward. Keep pressing through those palms. Draw those thumbs towards the sternum. Gaze might be at the front foot or up towards your right elbow. Breathe deep, Ujjayi. Slowly release. Bring the arms up once more. This time a little back bend. So maybe the gaze goes to the thumbs. You can drop the hips a little bit more. Lift, lift, lift through the abdomen. Remember, stretch those intercostal muscles. And this time we reach forward. So we're going to get the belly on the inside of that right thigh and reach the arms forward. So the arms are by the ears. Good. Deep stretching into that front right leg. And then hands come down, tuck the back toe and back into your downward facing dog. Paddle out if you need to, or breathe. Come into child's pose at any point. Looking forward, left leg steps between the hands, dropping the back knee, and then just coming straight up to that low lunge without a bend, looking forward. Draw the abdomen in and up. Hands come to the heart. Press the palms. Elbows are nice and wide. Turn the body. Get the belly away from the thigh. Elbow comes to left knee. Draw the palms towards the heart center. Twist, twist, twist. Drop the hips a little more to the mat. Gaze can go to front foot or up to the back elbow. Nice and slowly, bring yourself back into center. Release the arms. Belly comes on the inside of that thigh. And you reach, reach, reach the arms away. So you've got a long, long spine. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Lift the abdomen. Protect the lower back. Oh, that's deep. And hands come down. Tuck the back toe. Send it back into your downward facing dog. Paddle out if you need. Doing great. I'm into a plank. And then just rest there if you need to. You can always lower the knees. And you've got your kneeling plank. Lift the abdomen. That's okay. So wrists are underneath the shoulders. Hips are in line with the heels. We're drawing in dantian, core, inner strength. Lift the right foot and release it down. Lift the left. Couple of inches, doesn't have to be high. And release. Lower the knees. Drop the chest between the thumbs. Keep the toes tucked. Full ground position here. So you're going to draw the elbows in. Chin, chest comes down, keep the hips lifted. I can't talk. And release to the mat. Ooh. Sway out, little through the hips. Release the belly, release the lower back. Breathe out. So let's come into a Sphinx pose. Hands come out in front of us. Elbows might be underneath the shoulders or just a little bit forward. Roll the shoulders away from the ears, back and down. Press away from the mat and just free the head and the neck. Side to side, forwards, and a little bit back, not too much. If you've got back pain, widen the knee, widen the feet just a little bit. Drop the pelvis. Pelvis is super heavy. So here we're going to draw the right hand in at 45 degrees. We're going to sweep the left arm back. We're going to take hold of that left leg, draw the hip flexor down. So you're looking towards the foot or you're looking towards the front hand. So you've got a little stretch through the side body there. So left hip flexor draws down, pressing away from the mat in that half sphinx. Good. Gently release the hand, release the foot, change sides. Left arm, 45 degrees, right arm sweeps back. Draw the heel in and then lengthen the knee and the thigh away so that you can really feel that quadricep starting to release and lengthen. Keep pressing away from the mat. Keep lifted up into that half sphinx. Yeah, nice and slowly release the hand, release the foot. Bring yourself back down. Bring the big toes to touch and sway out through the hips. So we're going to come into a side stretch. So rolling over onto your right hip. And the legs can be straight in line and the feet can be flexed here. And you can choose to come down onto the forearm if you prefer, or you can lift up onto the hand. And we want to stretch this side body, so not dumping or collapsing. Press, press, press. If it's a little bit uncomfortable, bring the left leg forwards. Find what works into the lower back. You feel like you're pinching, come down a bit. You may have gone too high. We just want to keep that rib cage nice and lifted. Good. So it's a side seal. Good. Breathing into the ribs here. And let's come all the way back into prone to release to neutral. And then let's go to the other side, choosing your option of being on the forearms or up onto the palm, and finding the option of the leg. Trying not to dump into the shoulder. So you're pressing away from the mat, lifting up through the side body. You can feel what's working through the torso here. Draw the abdomen in. Sorry, I've got my back to you. Find the balance. Breathe. And then gently release and bring yourself back into neutral. Sway out through the hips. This time into locust. So hands can come back behind you, interlace the fingers, and we roll the shoulders open, press the knuckles back, lift the upper body. Really feel that dantian now engaging, draw it in, and you can lift the legs if you wish to as well, always options. You can keep legs down, lift higher through the chest, lift the legs a little more. Stretch, 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 smile and breathe. And slowly release, cheek to the mat, hands by the hips. So this time, a little bit of free movement with our dancing seal. I'm putting my mic back on. Fingertips go wide, feet might go a little bit wide. So you press up, you ripple up, and then you can start to circle forwards, around, and up. Down to the side, into the center, to the side, and up. Circle twice more. Really thinking about your tops of your feet pressing into the mat. They're not rotating inwards. Hips are nice and square. And then circle the other way. And you don't have to be up on the fingertips. You can be, of course, on the palms. And the palms might be in front of you if you're slipping. So, it's how you want to move. Think side body, front and back of the trunk. And then release the body down. Hands come underneath the head. Sway out through the hips a little. So this time it's an opposition twisting, opposition lifting and lowering. So take the feet wide, knees are wide. We're going to be lifting up the feet. Bring the toes to touch up above you. So bend the knees. So we come up into cobra with the legs down. And then we come up, cobra with the legs down and lower with the legs up. So lower the legs, press up into cobra, lift the legs, lower the body, lower the legs, lift the body, lower the body, lift the legs. 3 or 4 more times. Find the breath. Ujjayi really helps with this one. Few more. Spinal, abdominal. And last time, come up and stay both. Doesn't matter how high legs or feet or body are. And release down, sway out. Oh, that's all you're prone. Well done. Okay, returning back to a side plank though. Oh, yes. So options of side plank. Let's go. Right side first. So you may be on your forearms here and your hips might lift. You can always place your foot in front of you. So this could be your first option, or both legs together. You lift the hips, arm comes to the sky. If that's okay for you, then you can choose the option of full side plank, maybe leg in front, lift hips away, or this option. So choose an option, stay there for 5 breaths. Breathing and smiling. Smiling activates your vagus nerve. Keep lifting the hips to the sky. And let's come into center. Find your plank. Change sides. Whatever your option was on that side, do that on the other if you can. 5 breaths. Lift the hips away from the mat. Push the palm away. Breathe and smile. Bring the hand back into plank. Both hands down. Press back through the heels. Lower the knees. Tuck the toes. Chest comes down between the thumbs. Draw the throat to the mat. Again, stimulating vagus nerve into the throat. Release to the mat. Cobra. Roll up. And tuck toes. Lift knees. Draw belly back to thighs. Lift hips, down dog. Few Ujjayi breaths. And lower the knees to the mat. Come into a child's pose. Sweep the arms back around you. Give the shoulders, wrists a rest. Hands come down by the side of your feet. Head comes to the mat. And hopefully you are getting warm. So let's roll up through the spine, come to kneeling. Getting a block, placing your block underneath you. And just lift the calves out of the way here and just press the feet down a little bit. Sit nice and tall. We're not rounding through the shoulders or slumping or slouching. Roll the shoulders, open the chest, draw the belly back towards the spine. So this time we're going to lift the hips and stretch through the quadriceps, but knees are going to be in line with the hips. Hips are in line with the shoulders. Sweep the hands back, fingertips either facing forward or to the front. Lift the hips. Look forward for the moment. Draw the chin towards the chest, but leave a space like a little apple is in there. So imagine, you've got this little apple that you're holding with your chin. Down to the collarbones. Lift the hips a little more. Ujjayi breath. Restriction, warmth in the back of the throat. Lift, lift, lift. You're stretching, stretching, stretching. Front body, front gate. And release. Come back into neutral. And lengthen the neck. Okay, once more. Hands come back. Lift the hips. And this time, if you wish to, you can keep the gaze looking forward, or you might extend the neck, not compress or collapse. Look to the sky. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Lift the hips. Good. Push them forward. And exhale. Hips come down and return back to neutral. Take a moment just to process. Good work. Let's come to a couple of standing postures, which is our standing lunge twist. So everything that we did with our warrior, we're now going to do in standing, because we did that kneeling. So hands come down, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Down dog, breathe out. Look forward and send the right leg forward between the hands. Open it up into warrior two. Let me make sure I've got enough room for this with you. So we're going warrior two, reverse warrior, side angle pose, and then triangle. So warrior two, reverse, bend, stretch, 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 back behind you. Side angle pose, elbow comes to knee, arm raises. Arm reaches over, bicep to ear. Bring yourself back into warrior two, straighten the front leg. This time triangle, reach long, exhale over. Hold for 5 breaths. Draw the abdomen in. Strong spine, strong trunk of the body. Press through the feet. Return to warrior. Windmill the hands over. If you wish to, you can go back to down dog, child's pose, or you can introduce that connecting vinyasa that we did, which was full ground position. So plank, knees down, tuck toes, elbows tuck in. Chin, chest to the mat, open the throat. Release to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. So this is it's a fiery practice. That ujjayi breath really helps with that. Okay, other side, and looking forward. Left leg comes between the hands, plant the back foot, open it up, warrior two. Find the position, feel strong through this whole section of your thoracic. Inhale as you reach back. Breathe out, sink a little deeper. Breathe in as you come through center warrior. Breathe out as you go to your side angle. Breathe in, lengthen, roll the ribcage open, really plant through the back foot. Breathe in as you come back. Straighten the front leg, reach out long, exhale, triangle. 5 breaths. Good. Keep lifting up through this ribcage here. Nice. And then press through the feet, lift yourself up. Bend through the front knee. Release the hands over. You've got an opportunity, a last opportunity for your connecting vinyasa. So stepping it back to your downward facing dog as you breathe out. Come forward into plank. Toes tuck, knees come down, chest, chin, throat open to the mat. Release. Inhale, roll into cobra. Exhale, tuck toes, chest, belly back to thighs, lift hips, down dog. Breathe out. Breathe in. And then lower to the knees. Fall back to child's pose. A few breaths. And roll up through the spine. Bring the legs around in front of you for seated. So again, we want to be really aware of that wonderful vagus nerve. As I say, it comes down from the base of the brain through into the face, into the throat, down through the thorax, into the heart, down, and there's like it sprays out into all of the kidney, the liver, the lower intestines, and it's a wonderful gut to brain, brain to gut nervous system. Lifting up the toes, sitting nice and tall. Inhale. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Flat back. Fold from the hips. Fold forward. Think about that belly. And exhale, fold. Paschimottanasana. So notice how the belly sits here on the thighs. Are you letting it relax or are you pulling it back? You know, since I hit menopause, I've got a menopause belly, so it's a lot more noticeable now in forward folds. A lot more noticeable. So I'm very aware of it. Nice deep exhale. Give yourself a little wiggle through the sit bones, removing that flesh. And you might go a little bit deeper. Nice and slowly roll up through the spine. We're going to bring our right knee in to the chest and give it a big hug. You can hug through the elbows. We're going to keep that foot away from the mat. So you're lifting up the heel, because we're going to come into a heron pose in a minute, or a variation of heron. So we're going to extend that right leg up towards the sky, lifting through the chest and spine, lengthen the body. You can always use a strap here, and you can, of course, keep the knee bent in towards the chest. Push through the heel. Take the left hand to the outer side of your right foot and reach the right arm back behind you. Take a look forward. Are you crossing that leg over, or is it still in line with your hip? Lift up the heel, press away through the feet, lift the spine, reach, reach, reach back behind you. And then bend at the knee, bring the leg across. Opposition twist here. So hand comes underneath the sole of the foot, elbow tucks to the knee, and twist to the opposite side. Really draw down that big toe of your right foot. Lengthen the spine, open the chest to the side. And then bring yourself center. Release. Second, Paschimottanasana. Inhale, arms raise. Exhale, reach, 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 long, way past the toes. Hands might come down to the toes. Give yourself that wiggle, that breath in. Exhale, fold. Be aware of the belly, the digestive organs, the spine. Let the head relax to the knees. Deep breath out even more. Slowly, slowly, slowly roll up. Bring the left knee with you. Keep the heel away from the mat. Give yourself that hug. Get the belly, the chest towards the thigh. Nice long spine. And this is where we extend the leg out in front of us. So you can always hold on to the calf or the sole of the foot by interlacing the fingers. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. We don't want to be here. So relax. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Soles of the feet are pressing away. We make that transition into the twist. So hand comes to the outer edge of the foot. We lift the belly up and away from the thigh. Arm goes back behind us. Gaze might look forward just to check that you're not pulling that leg across. Good. Keep lifted. Breathe and smile. Smiling stimulates vagus nerve. My catchphrase of the week is, what happens in Vegas doesn't have to stay in Vegas. And gently bend at the knee. Bring that left foot over. Opposition twist. And hooks underneath the arch. Elbow leverages against the knee. And start to take the twist around. Ground through the sit bones. Ground through that big toe and heel of your left foot. Good. Nice and slowly bring yourself back into center. Shuffle forward if you need to. If you're quite far at the back of your mat, bring the soles of the feet together. Find a block. Place it between your thighs. Sit nice and tall. We're going to take a few slow roll downs through the spine. Draw the belly back. Tuck the pelvis under. And roll down through each and every vertebra. Oh, that's so much easier at the end of practice than at the beginning. Much more noticeable. The spine is a lot more mobile. So we are breathing in for the effort, out for the roll down. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Keep rolling each and every vertebra. Inner thighs drawing together. Last time, slow, slow roll down. Still rolling. Still smiling, still breathing. When you get there, head comes down, draw the knees in, take the block away. Down on our backs. Sway out. Massage through the spine. Relax the facial expression. Remember that vagus nerve comes into the face, into the throat. Down through the heart and down into the gut. Left knee stays in towards the chest, and you can bend the left knee and place the sole of the foot on the floor, or you can extend that leg. Draw the thigh towards you. Draw the belly down to the spine, spine down to the mat. I'm going to roll over onto the left hip, so left hand takes right knee. Roll all the way over. And then open up the right arm into your reclined twist. This can be active or soft, whatever you need right now as we come towards the end of the practice. This can be more of an active reclined twist, maybe a hand to big toe if you wish. You can always extend that leg. And remember, that leg, the underneath leg, would be your supporting leg if we were standing in a revolved hand to big toe. So that's your active variation, or your softer variation. It's your body, let it guide you. Nice and slowly, inhale, bring yourself back into center. Draw the knees in once more. Really feel the whole of the back body spreading out, the waists, the QLs, those big muscles that surround the spine. And again, choosing your option of keeping that left knee in towards the chest and the right knee bent or extended. And then roll onto the right hip, taking that knee over and finding your soft or your active variation of reclined twist. And then gently breathe in, bring yourself back into center. Place the soles of the feet wide, knees drop in towards one another. And this is a place where you can just allow your hips, your thighs, your legs, and your feet to rest. Take the left hand to the heart, right hand to the belly. Relax the elbows by the side of the body. Nestle your shoulder blades. Nestle your middle, your lower back, and the sides of your body. Let's take 10 3-part yogic breaths. So I want you to breathe into the belly, diaphragm, and chest all in one breath. As you breathe out, chest relaxes, diaphragm raises, belly deflates. Take 9 more at your own pace of breath. Slow everything down now and really focus on that breath work to stimulate and activate, tone the vagus nerve. Once you've completed your 10 rounds of Dirga Swasam, 3-part yogic breath, return to a normal breathing, Samavriti, equal breath, hands release from the body. And then take some time just to get comfortable and warm, coming into your final relaxation in Shavasana. And as we now come to the end of our practice, but definitely not the end of your repair and your rest and your digest. So remember that vagus nerve, when fully balanced, really brings in your parasympathetic nervous system. And all through the practice, we've introduced twists, we've introduced some strength training, some challenge, some warmth, some heat to the practice. And that all comes from our hara, dantian, or the third chakra of Manipura, which sits in our solar plexus like a glowing sun and connects us to our power, our identity, and our worth. The sea of energy and our connection to the universal energy field. As we leave for high school, we snap ourselves off from the family unit and go out into the world to make a name for ourselves and shape the clay of our identity. We learn the story of what it is to be me, and we start to set into stone our self-belief systems regarding what we are capable of. If we are programmed to believe we can or we can't do something, we may carry that charge into our later years. And if we were told to sit down and be quiet in our early years, the light of self-esteem may diminish. However, we all arrived here with goodness to share. So our duty is to fire up this center and discover that real power comes from stepping into the destiny that we were gifted with and to shift our inertia into action. Once we learn to distinguish what we want in life and go for it, the third chakra burns brightly and steadily. And when we stoke our inner fire, we learn to stand up for ourselves. But more importantly, we empower others to do the same. I'll leave you for a few minutes of your own personal silence before bringing you back around. Beginning to deepen your breath, bringing awareness back into your surroundings once more, onto your mat and into the physical body, awakening your energy from your rest, bringing movement to the hands, to the feet, to the head, choosing to stretch, drawing the knees in, rolling, massaging for the last and final time today. Taking time to roll over to one side and returning up to a comfortable seat, sitting with your hands in Anjali Mudra at heart center, nice and tall. Feel the length of your spine, the length of your front body, the sides of your body. Imagine that your vagus nerve is fully balanced, toned, and activated for the rest of your week ahead. And we will end our practice together with one Om to vocalize into our throat and the vagus nerve. Breathing in. Om. Returning to your own intention for practice today and how that intention could follow you into your evening and your week ahead, and always thanking your body, your energy, and your breath for practice. And I thank you all. Namaste.